In a world where profitability is everything, what if you could tell Google that a conversion from a specific location or a specific audience is worth 50% more to your business because you know that their expected lifetime value is higher? This is exactly what this Google feature, value rules, allows you to do. We are talking about a revolutionary way to target customers with higher expected lifetime value, finally aligning your ad spend with your business ultimate profitability.
Value rule allows you to target customers with higher expected lifetime value. With value rule, you can tell Google that customers at a new location or a customer with certain demographics or a customer on certain devices, they have more value to your business and you are willing to pay more to acquire those customers. That is what value is all about on Google Ads. And value is basically used for scaling campaigns at a point whereby your campaign is profitable. That is when you apply value rule. This is an amazing feature for advertisers, for business owners when you are running Google Ads and you want to scale, you want to ensure success. So how can you define value? How can you define a rule that will be applied to your campaign and to ensure success on Google Ads? The first thing you need to do is to go to goals. Under goals, you you have conversion in Google Ads. Under goals, you have you have conversions, you have measurement. If you click on this drop down under measurement now, you have attribution. But under conversions, from goals, you go to conversions, and under conversions, you have value rules. So let's select value rules. If you come to value rule now, you see redefine how you value your conversions. Conversion value rules let you adjust conversion values to record their relative value to your business based on conditions such as location and device and customer attributes. Value rules only apply to performance marks in addition to search, shopping, hotel and display campaign. Only one value can execute for each conversion event. So it means when you set up a purchase event, for instance, now, or you set up a sign up event, for instance, you can only set up one rule that will be applicable to that event. So you need to follow me very well. If you set up a purchase event and you know that certain customers in certain locations or certain devices are more valuable to your business and you are creating a value rule for that, you set up a purchase conversion, you set up add to cart conversion and all, and they're applicable to your campaign, you've applied that to your campaign, you've told Google that that's what you are bidding on. You can only apply one rule to that to give Google that, oh, with this so amount of purchase that I've gotten from this so amount of conversion that I've gotten, I want to apply this rule to pay more for these customers. And it is only applied to performance mass campaign in addition to search, hotel, shopping and display campaign. So how can you create value rule? So let's go to create value rule. When you go to create value rule, you see conversion value lets you adjust values for conversion event based on conditions like location or device. You will see the output of conversion value rules in your reporting and they will be used for value-based bidding. So the first thing you need to do is to define your primary condition. So what's your primary condition? Select your primary rule condition. If you come to this place, you can define, you can create your rule around device, location, audience segment. So let's say your primary rule is audience segment, your primary condition. If I click on audience segment, I won't use all audience segments because I want to tell Google that a certain customers are more valuable to my business and I want to pay more to acquire them. So if I go to browse here, I can come to how they interacted with my business. So your data segments, if I click on this, I can come to custom combination or website visitors. Then you will see all visitors general visitors, past buyers. So you can do this. Past buyers. Past buyers. These are people that they bought products from you before. So you can create a value rule to say you want to pay more for those kind of customers. You want to pay more for those kind of customers, and Google should help you target them. So you can also see this now. You can come to this. So this is how you will define a value rule. And you can also define value rules using different demographics. Let's say you come to detailed demographic, which is marital status, single or relationship, or parental status, or all those things, or home ownership status, or employment status. So you can do that. You can create value rule for affinity audience, people, what their interest is all about. If you notice that the kind of conversions you are getting, it is certain interest based audience or habit based audience that are giving you those kind of conversions. You can also create value rules for in market audience. There are people that they are actively in the market researching or planning to buy something. So these are all those in market audiences that you can target and all those things. So that's what I will just do. So I will just pick this past buyers. I want to pay more for past buyers. So this is just an example Google Ads account. I don't have a lot of data on this, so you might not see a data, but you can play around audience segment. So if your primary condition is audience segment, you want to use audience segment. So out of all these audience segments, you can choose different kind of segment of audience. It can be the audience you've created yourself, that is your data segment. It can be in market audience. It can be affinity audience. You define those audience because you know your numbers. You know that these audiences are people that are valuable to your business and you are willing to pay more for them. So if I come to this place, I can define secondary conditions. My secondary condition can be on device. So if I go to device, then I will select a device called mobile. So can you see value rule preview? If audience segment is past buyer, retail, this can be anything. Like I said to you, it can be anything. You can choose. You just need to know your numbers. You know that these customers are valuable to your business and they are known to have higher expected lifetime value, and you are willing to pay more to get those kind of customers. So another secondary condition can now be on device. The device can be mobile. So if you choose mobile because your data is showing you that between desktop, mobile, tablet, your valuable customers are coming through mobile and you are willing to pay more to get all those things. So all those conversions. So the next thing is to go to value adjustment. Select the value adjustment that will apply to your base conversion. If I come to this base conversion is the value you have set for this conversion action. Learn more how to estimate. So if I come to select operation, I will just click on multiply. Then I will click on 10. You put 10 here. You can only do between 5 to 10. So just put 10 here, put multiply. If I change this to add now, I want to know, yeah, add $10. So select the value adjustment that will be applied to your base value. So if I put $10, you are willing to pay $10 more to get all these customers. So so I will just do multiply, then I'll put 5 here. And in some cases, since you have your data, you have your numbers, you know how much you are getting each conversion already, and you want to create a value rule for that conversion and all those things, you can just stick with add. And let's say that conversions you are getting each conversion at the rate of $10. You are willing to pay Google $5 more to find all those valuable customers. That is just what it means. So if I come down now, I will come to save here. Then I've saved my value rule. I've been able to define my value rule. So this is the value rule. Can you see? conversion goals or conversion. Primary condition type audience, primary conditions, this is the primary condition. The secondary condition is this, secondary condition is mobile, and operation is hard, and the value is $5. So that is $5. You are willing to pay $5 more for those audience. If I come to edit here now and I come down, I select this and choose this, how to estimate. So it is saying how to estimate conversion value. When estimating value per conversion, it is often strategic to factor in things like repeat business, word of mouth, lifetime customer value. Factoring in this value can give you the flexibility to bid higher while confidently bidding below your value per click. Let's look at a fictional business to business machinery company named Example Machine to see how it works. Rather than selling directly online, Example use hard work to generate leads for a sales team. We will factor that into. So short term value conversion. So average deal is 3,000. Profit margin is 45%. Leads that convert to deal is 20%. Value per conversion short term is $20, $270. So they get one lead $20. So it will now be $3,000 times 45% multiplied by 20. So that is how they are getting their number. If you factor in word of mouth, this is how it looks like. If you factor in customer expected lifetime value, let's say lastly they are using this, the average deal is $3,000, repeat business value is $5,000, profit margin is 5%. So they are using this, so it is $3,000 plus $5,000 multiplied by 45%. So this is how you can do all your calculations and your numbers. So what I will just do is I'll come to, then we'll factor back in how many leads convert to D and word of mouth gain. Lifetime per lifetime profit per customers, leads that convert to a deal 20%, gain from word of mouth and all these things. So you just need to read all these things. So how this enable more strategic bidding? Let's assume 5% of clicks convert to a sales lead and see how it affect our value per lead. So this is how it is short term. You can do 5%. Can you see 5%? So it can be multiplied by 5%, and value per click lifetime, it can be 5%. So I like to use percentage to calculate all these things. Choosing your conversion value, it is important to use a method that makes sense for your business and advertising objective. Short-term conversion value can be useful when you want to maximize immediate profit or customer acquisition as cash flow. This is for e-commerce business. Lifetime conversion value can be more useful when trying to maximize long-term growth. When choosing a conversion value, it is important to opt for a method that aligns with your business goal. So they said even in case where estimating conversion value is difficult, it is still may be possible to use estimated range of your likely conversion value or conservative estimate for factors that are difficult to track. For example, if you are confident that gains from word of mouth represent an additional 20 to 30% of value, you lack definitive tracking. Using 15 to conservative is often more helpful. So what I would just do, so they said let's use an e-commerce business as an example. An e-commerce business site where customers search for one product and then purchase another. So what I would just do is to, like they recommended, I go with the short term lifetime value, and I will just go to, I will work with percentage. So I will work with percentage. So what I will just do is to just work with percentage. I will say multiply by, then I'll put the percentage which can be 5. I work with percentage in most cases. So you work with percentage in most cases. So, and you can just say 10%. So you are willing to pay 10% more. You are willing to pay 5% more. It's that easy. So what you can just do is to click on save. But it is advisable you start with 5%, then you scale as you move on. So all you just need to do is to click on save. When you click on save, then your value rule is defined and it is set up successfully. So how can you use value rule in your campaigns? Value rule, when you set up value rule, using them in your campaign is automatic, but you just need to define a value rule that is aligned with your bidding strategy and what you are trying to optimize for. So if a campaign choose conversion actions are linked to your defined rule, the value rule automatically applies whenever a conversion matches that condition. So since I have set up a conversion rule now that is in line with, let's say, purchase and e-commerce brand and all those things, so I'm just going to choose a bidding strategy and that will be automatically applied to my business. So how can you do this? You go to campaigns. When you come to campaigns, you click on new campaign and select new campaign, like you are creating campaign, and then you create a campaign without a goal. If I come to performance marks, for instance, now I need to choose, like I said, you need to choose, for your value rule to work, you need to define a conversion that is in line with that value rule that you defined. You need to choose a conversion tracking or conversion that you've defined for your business that is in line with the value rule you have defined. That is when Google will automatically pick it up. It is not as if when you are running a campaign, you select it manually. You select the value rule that you've created manually. It doesn't work that way. So I'll just select a goal. For this, I'm supposed to select purchase goal because this is a shopping campaign. But I'll just use this sign up for an instance. But make sure you select a purchase event or a conversion goal that align with the value rules you set up. That is when the value Google will automatically pick that value rule and apply it to your campaign. So if I come to this place, I will select my Google Merchant Center. Once I select my Google Merchant Center account, I'll come to next. Once I come to next, then the next thing is to click on continue and select start new. When I click on start new, my bidding strategy will be conversion value. Like I said, I have a detailed video on bidding strategy on this my YouTube channel. You can check that out. For this your value rule to work, you are going to select a bidding strategy that is also aligned with the value rule you've defined, because the value rule you've defined that we defined earlier is e-commerce based, is purchase based. So the bidding strategy you will choose is conversion value. You select conversion value here, then you run your campaign. Once you do this, and you can also set target return on ad spend, which is optional. You can also set your target return on ad spend here. You combine your conversion value bidding strategy with target return on ad spend, then you use it to run your campaign. And Google will automatically pick the value rule you've defined and it will apply it to your campaign, because the value rule you've defined align with the conversion goals you've also defined when setting up your campaign, and it also align with the bidding strategy you've also defined when you are setting up your campaign, which is the conversion value bidding strategy combined with target ROAS.
Value rule isn't just a feature, it is a fundamental shift in how we approach Google Ads. By telling the algorithm that a customer in a location or a specific audience is worth more in value to your business, you are giving it a precise signal to look for more valuable customers for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will see you in my next video.